Okay, so today let's talk about our ribs. We know that everything we do comes from the floor. That we definitely know. So, if I was having a conversation on the street with somebody and I'm doing weight shifting, you can see that if I place my weight on my left foot, my hip actually moves more onto the left. And this is nothing to do with dancing, this is just we're having a conversation and I'm weight shifting. So a common thing that people do, because we have in the Latin dancing all of these Latin hips moving, as I step to the side, I try to send my hip over. So if I actually use the floor and release my weight into my standing leg, the hip went towards the standing leg, not away from the standing leg. So therefore, it wouldn't necessarily make sense for my hip to move first. This is where the conversation of ribs comes from. If I truly release my weight into my standing leg, my hip will relax, move a little bit more towards the side of that standing leg, and something has to account for that, which is my ribs, so that I don't fall over. So if I release my weight and I exaggerate my hip, not my hip movement, my rib action, I move my leg there so that I have something to walk on. I'm leading because of the weight that I've pushed in through my leg onto the floor, pushing there, I move onto it, and my hip will actually be one of the last things to arrive over the leg. So one more time, I release my weight, lowering my center of gravity into my standing leg. I move my leg where I'm headed, I push even more, which allows my rib cage to move over, and then the hip will come last. The same story is true for a leading side on a forward walk. So if I was to take a forward walk in rumba, for example, I bring my leg out, I relax into that left hip again, I push, and because I have a forward motion compared to a side motion, my rib moves forward. This is how I have a projection or a fully weighted leg with my leading leg, okay? So now my ribs, my chest have brought my body and my full body weight over the standing leg. That would be the kind of short version of maybe a bit of a Latin action. In a ballroom action, if we think about waltz, forward, side, close of a natural turn, the first three steps of a natural turn. If I take my step, as I start to rotate, I allow my rib cage to be that rotate. So I'm fully on my standing leg, then I will allow this to rotate. This is what's bringing my body around, and I just simply do a side together, close my feet. So again, even in ballroom, we can see how the rib cage, not my arms, the entire torso is rotating to bring myself onto my side close. This would be for a step that has rotation in it. There are many other factors, but if we specifically talk about the ribs, that would be the quick version of that one. Okay? Happy practicing.